That sound reasonably right?
Sure.
Yeah, it does sound correct. I don't remember what we were in the middle of.
I was told something about a seance was getting ready to happen.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
seance with Ronaldo.
Didn't we decide that we were going to go over to meet with the Magic Man or something since it's not time for
I
the
think
seance?
so. That sounds right too.
I do recall that, yes.
Okay. I remember the main reason why we were going to go meet with the Magic Man, I think, was to effectively start another quest or something.
Start another race war.
Yeah, that's
Another?
I mean, it could be both.
Oh, the DM doesn't know of my plans. Oh,
that
no.
is the quest, Brandon, is the race war.
You see, you thought the overarching quest was something else. No, it's the race war. That's the impending race war.
Yeah.
That's the real quest of Icedale or Icewind Dale.
Yeah. Actually, I think we were gonna talk to him. I think the original plan was to talk to him about the Schwingas, but we now have a Schwinga who's like just hanging out with us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I presume that the Schwinga is okay with eating a bit of food off of my plate whenever I eat,
Yeah.
just for convenience sake. All right.
And I'm going to make you roll to forage for it every time.
That is what I think of every time.
Acorns, that's right. They like acorns.
And the Schwinga dies of starvation. We have to go find another one.
Oh, no.
This whole campaign just turns into Find a Chwinga.
Yeah, literally the whole
27 weeks later, we're still level 1 looking for Schwingas.
Yeah.
We've made it to Baldur's Gate somehow. We can't find them anywhere.
Traverse this entire realm, the planet.
The whole planet, and they're extinct. They have to be extinct. Secretly, the DM made them extinct the whole time. And we had to figure that out.
Fuck with us.
And we decided to practically do it by looking at every single city.
So, we can still go over there and talk to the Magic Man, I guess, and ask him what he knows about Schwingas and all that.
Yeah, you can. There's
What
nothing wrong with it.
What else do we have to do today before the seance? I don't think there's anything, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
And to the Magic Man we shall go.
All right. So you guys head east out of town, following a small trail to the old house that was described to you, where the quote-unquote Magic Man lives. Arrive there in short order in a small, fairly well-kept, perhaps slightly run-down house. Otherwise plain and unassuming.
Let's go on up to the house and see what's going on inside.
Go say hello.
It's a house.
That
So
it
Why don't
is.
you go knock on it? See if anybody's
Okay.
home.
Yes, I think I will. I'll walk up to the door and I'll knock on it.
All right.
I immediately get shot with magic missile.
Wait,
now-
though, we'll stand off to one side so that he doesn't, startle anyone.
Mm-hmm. After a few moments, you hear someone come to the door and slide open a small peephole to look out. Yeah? Who's out there?
Yes. Hello. My name is Biltram. Just a traveler through these areas, and we were told that you were a purveyor of some magical craft and art.
Of sorts, yes.
Well, might we be able to take a moment of your time to ask some questions about a particular subject?
I suppose so. Ugh. He opens the door.
Oh, thank you. Shall we adjourn inside, gentlemen?
But of course.
So, what we came to speak with you about was actually this little creature here, and I'll gesture to the Schwinger. Do you happen to know what this is, just by looking at it?
Oh, I think I've seen drawings of those things before. It's a chwinga, is it?
Yes, precisely. That's exactly what we believe it to be, indeed. We were tasked with trying to track down one of these little creatures for some study involving, well, the magical properties that appear to be affecting the weather up here. There are those who believe that these little creatures might have some sort of a sway over these harsh existences, and they needed to be studied. You wouldn't happen to know anything else about these Shingers, would you?
Well, he thinks for a moment. No, unfortunately, I can't say that I do. That whole realm of magic was not my specialty.
I see. Well, that's truly the main thing that we were wanting to come visit with you about. Do you have any goods for sale here, or is this more of just your personal residence?
This is mostly just my personal residence, but it's all right. I suppose I don't mind too much.
Well, um, uh, services-wise, what do you provide to the town?
Well, you see, my specialty is, what is it? It's, abjuration. Is it abjuration? My mind escapes me. They gave all these fancy names to different styles.
So, abjuration, you say? I guess what exactly kind of work does that entail? Your abjuration. What spells and such do you cast?
Oh, let me take a look. And he grabs a dusty old spell book off of his bookshelf and flips it open. Oh, we abjurers. We like to cast fine magic, such as alarm's a pretty common one. I had it disabled when he came in. Mage armor would be a good example that you might be familiar with. Shield is also pretty well known. As well as other fancier stuff like symbols and stuff that'll have to do with abjuration and banishing. That sort of thing.
I see. When was the last time you did any work for the town?
Oh, let's see. It was yesterday.
A successful venture, I hope, helping the townsfolk.
Usually is. They wouldn't keep paying me for it if it wasn't.
This is true. This is very true.
Or maybe they would. It's
like,
not like they have any other options around here than me.
yes, of course. While I'm talking to him, I would actually like to try to discreetly kind of look around the inside of his place and try to take in any suspicious, items. If he's got tons of like bags of stuff around and other different things like that.
Bro. Oh, no. Wayfo's not being discreet about it at all. He is insatiably curious, and so while you guys are talking, he's like poking and prodding and like lifting up the lids on different things and looking inside. I mean, everything.
You there, thing. Could you not go through my personal things, perhaps? Please?
Me?
Yes, you.
Ah, I am not a thing. I am Wei Fo. Although I can understand the confusion.
Yes, much confusion here, thing. Um. But either way, if you could not go through all of my things, that would be great.
But you have some of the things closed up.
If they are that way for a reason, fine fellow. I'd like them to stay that way.
But some of them are hidden, and I cannot see what they are.
For good reason. Some things in here should not be looked at.
Oh. You have dangerous things here?
It's almost a nat 20. I was gonna say I want to look around like on the floor for any hidden hatches on the floor.
I want to get involved too. I want to use my that. I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Detect magic right in front of him.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, while Wei Fo's distracting him, maybe he's got a good chance.
Maybe.
What's he gonna do to stop me? Abjure me to death.
Back to your realm of assholedom.
Yeah.
All right, so to answer things in order here, he does respond to Wei Fo's question. Yes, some things might be quite dangerous to some peoples. I'd prefer
Can I see?
not hurt my
Yeah.
guests. No, you can't see. And Dalar, all sorts of stuff all around the room. Some of it in bags, some of it out in the open, detects as magical.
Okay.
Detect magic tell you what kind of magic it is.
If there
Yeah,
is
you
a related-
you learn whatever school of magic it's from.
Without pointing out anything particular, there's stuff around here that's from pretty much every school, at least, is represented here in some way. Some more than others.
Fascinating. Who would have thought a magic man had so much magical goodies?
Yes, we do tend to enjoy collecting magical goods.
Wei Fo just kind of cocks his head with his mouth slightly open, looking looking over at Dalar. Just remain silent.
What do you think of all this, Schwinga buddy?
It's just kind of looking around, poking at little trinkets and stuff here and there. Not quite as nosily as Wei Fo has been, but he's still curious about everything.
I should get him a cloak. He must be cold.
No,
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt. I must say this is quite an interesting place you have here. How long have you been living or living within and serving the town here?
well, I moved to town 8 months ago.
I see. And before that, might I ask?
I practice my magic other places. I tend to stick around somewhere until they no longer need me. We'll go with that. No longer need me. And
I understand.
then I move on elsewhere to a new town that might need new services.
Yes,
Is it
indeed.
until they no longer need you or until they accidentally draw your name in the lottery?
Well, they've not drawn my name yet, the 8 months I've been here.
Or at any of the other towns that you've been to?
Well, not every town I've been to has been up here. This is my first stop up here in 10 towns.
Really?
Really?
Interesting. Indeed.
What is your opinion of these strange lotteries that they have?
It wasn't my first choice, but
Or second or
not-
third?
it's not my place to argue with it. They've been doing it since before I got here.
Hmm.
Polite as well, aren't you?
Suppose so.
So, what do you think will be the point at which you are done here within this town and are ready to move on?
Well, whenever they stop paying me money or whenever they decide to tell me to leave.
How did you acquire this fine home that you're in now?
It was abandoned when I got here. Came here and fixed it up just a little bit and made it my own.
Ah, I see. How well, that's quite convenient, is it not?
Is that permissible here in the town?
They
Like,
seem to not
it-
mind.
If someone finds a place that they wish, they can just simply take it? I mean, if it's abandoned.
Usually, each town has different rules that they set in place for deciding what happens with buildings like that.
I see.
Uh,
It does make sense, especially in this kind of a harsh environment. If someone is willing to take over a residence and actually take care of it, it's one less building for the city to have to worry about.
Exactly. And they felt that my services might be of benefit here, so they offered me ownership over the house, at least until they run me out of town.
This also makes perfect logical sense. An enticement for someone whose services that they need, and then if they no longer need you, whatever improvements that you've done, well, you can't really take it with you.
As long as I don't burn the place down.
That's an interesting thought.
That would be a truly terrible happenstance to befall such a fine town. Though I would say it would be hard to keep a fire burning in these environments. Indeed.
Oh, quite hard. Need a lot of magic to do that.
Yes, indeed. Well, that's it's been quite the visit. I dare say that I've heard everything that I needed advice with, and had a lovely chat indeed. What say the rest of you?
I would still like to see more of his things, but I
would like for you to
understand.
not. My things are my things. You think?
I understand. I would share with you my things.
Indeed, Wei is much less a private person than yourself, good sir. Might I inquire? I realize I don't believe I asked your name.
That's all right. I did not give it.
Well,
May
what
I
is it?
inquire?
Well, I suppose so. Let's see.
What was my name again?
My name.
Pardon me. I'm just coming down from doing a bunch of crack cocaine.
Ah, yes, I remember my name.
It was a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
When my mom named me Wednesday. No way.
Or was it a cold Thursday morning? Which day did you name me on? What day?
The first 3 years of my life, they called me Tuesday, but my birth certificate actually says Wednesday.
My nickname is Thursday.
Yeah.
And my taken name is The Weekend.
Oh, well.
Because all I do is party.
Jesus Christ.
The name is Tilden. Tilden Youngheart.
Hilden Youngheart, you say?
Yes.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine, Tilden. This has been truly an enjoyable visit.
And equally interesting and unusual and unexpected for me.
I
That
should
may have made.
assume so, and apologies if this was a bad time, but we appreciate your hospitality.
It's alright. A little more warning next time is typically appreciated. I guess I can't blame you. You didn't know that, and those bastards in town never give anybody any, idea to give me a warning before sending them my way.
Yes, indeed, they truly do just say, well, go on down the road and you'll find him when you find him. But
How exactly is someone supposed to give you warning? Ooh, do you have one of those sending stones?
I do know people who have them, though none here in town.
Well, you should have somebody, or at least one or two people here in town that should have one. That way they would be able to send you warning.
That would be an excellent idea.
I think he also may have just meant that the town leafer could have taken a horse and ridden out here to tell him that there were people inquiring. But nevertheless, a sending stone is not a bad idea. Quite convenient.
Not only that, but if you have somebody from town come down here to give him fair warning that somebody was coming to visit, then wouldn't the person that was coming in from town be arriving unscheduled and unannounced? And therefore he might want to have some warning about that?
True, but a written letter on the door is not always intrusive. There's ways around it. Nevertheless, we needn't trouble the man about these things. I'm sure he's got much more pressing matters to deal with.
In the future, for your own reference, I typically schedule these things as people see me passing through, the fish market or something.
Excellent.
The people who seek me tend to know where to find me, and we schedule meetings at that time.
Excellent. Understood. Well, should we be in need of any of your services, we are now abreast of the proceedings. So, thank you for your time again.
We will meet you at a fish market.
Looking forward to it.
Make sure you put it on the calendar.
Should we put it on a calendar?
No, we'll be fine.
I'm gonna go ahead and open the door and start wetting myself out before this gets.
I'll follow in suit, very nonchalantly.
Yeah, Wayfo's just walking along, lost in conversation with Daler about setting things up on calendars.
Don't worry about it.
Forget about it.
All in due time, my boy.
As you guys leave, you hear the door quickly latch and then lock behind you.
He must be worried about intruders.
Yes, indeed, he very well may be. I would not go so far as to say that we look the ruffian type, but you never know. People get nervous these days.
Well, sure he wasn't locking it from us, was he?
Oh, I would reckon that might be the case. It might, but it's neither here nor there. Some people leave their doors locked all the time, regardless of who comes to the door. You know,
Hmm.
the headmaster at the university locked his doors always.
There were no locks over at the monastery. Actually, come to think of it, there were very few doors.
In a monastery, I suppose that would be fitting of some sort. Yes. Come and go as the breeze, at one with the universe. Correct.
Yes.
What I would like to know is how the two of you feel about the gentleman we just met with.
He seemed awfully nervous about me looking at his things.
He
Oh
seemed like
yes,
he seemed like he was making it up as he went along. Honestly,
it certainly did. Yes, and he said he did some work for the town only a day prior to today, and yet his book of spells, his keen abjuration journal was well dusty as if it had been used as a footstep on the way in the door.
So you're saying he was lying?
yes.
It would seem so. Yes.
Perhaps that's why he didn't want me looking at anything.
That definitely makes sense.
Yes. I would say that I would take a guess based on what I saw on the door and some of the slip ups in conversation. I would say he's up to some various forms of dark magic, or maybe at least magic being used nefariously. But venture a guess, I wouldn't know where to shoot. Maybe necromancy, but we'd have to get a better look at his materials and his research books.
We could always go back.
Yes, we're otherwise engaged this evening, but it would be a good place to keep in mind for further investigation, I would say.
Quite. What time of day is it? And what time is the seance happening?
Right now it's about midday, with the seance planned to happen midnight.
Oh, man. Well, then what shall we do for the rest of the day?
I am not quite sure.
Drinking and napping?
Might be a good idea if we'll be up kind of later tonight.
I concur. Yes.
You know what they say, a drunk seance is the best seance.
They say that?
I say that at least.
Ah. How many
Even-
seances have you been to?
But first,
So, this isn't really experience talking.
no, but I'm typically happier when I'm drunk.
I can concur with that.
So with this logic, I'll be happier during the seance if I'm drunk.
That makes sense. Is it important to be happy during a seance?
I don't know, I haven't done one before.
I would suppose it would be better than being sad. Yes.
This also makes sense. Very well. We should attempt to get Dalar inebriated then.
I agree.
And commence the inebriation.
Yes.
See how many how wasted I can get between midday and midnight.
Actually, I think it's more like between midday and like 2. The rest of the time, you'll probably be sleeping.
Yeah, it gives me time to try and get hammered again after I wake up. Oh, I got a nasty hangover. I need to start taking shots.
Yeah. Gotta get fixed up here.
I really messed up. I got too shit faced. I need some more shots to fix me.
Good old Dalar. The only person I know that can say never again and get me another round, all in the same breath. Alright, so we'll do some day drinking.
I will be drinking tea and studying on my books and doing some journaling.
All right.
I'll be drinking heavily. I'll even see if the Schwingo's interested in trying any.
It does not seem so interested in that.
That's okay. More for me. I'll try and communicate and ask it if it likes to drink anything. Do like a motion of like drinking something, then point to it.
It eventually settles on water.
That's probably the wisest person in the entire group.
I have an idea. I want to take the water.
Turn it
I'm gonna do
into
tricks
vodka.
with it. I want to do tricks with it in the air. We'll start doing tricks with the water.
All right. It's when you're
Think of like Aang from the Avatar when they're in Kyoshi Island with the little balls.
Gotcha.
And he does stuff like think like that, where he's like got his hands above and starts going around and around.
It's like spinning him, yeah.
Yeah, think like that with water.
Nice.
Change the color and all that.
All right. Let's see. Wait, just a moment here. Yeah. All right. So you guys have a lovely evening of, or I guess afternoon, really, of drinking, resting, relaxing.
Repeating.
Exactly. Before you know it, evening and then night comes.
Well, when it gets close to the designated hour, I guess Wayfo will gather everybody up and remind them that we have to get over to the seance.
Yes. Let's get over there.
Actually, Dalar, what you meant to say was, yeah, give me a second, get off the floor, and we can get going.
So you
Wait
guys.
a second. Who drank my beer? Oh, that was me, wasn't it?
That was me. Damn it.
Damn it! Why did I drink that earlier? I could have had it later.
So you guys stumble across town from the Wet Trout over to the White Lady Inn, just in time for the seance. You find Ronaldo preparing in the old ballroom, as he said he would be. Ah, you've managed to get here just in time. Come, take a seat.
Yes.
Mind if we do?
Just a couple moments away from beginning, so prepare yourselves. Wait, are you drunk? He says, pointing to Dalar.
Probably.
Trust me. He works much better this way.
I start nodding vigorously.
For his sake, I hope so.
He has been channeling the spirits all day.
That doesn't exactly inspire confidence now, does it? Anyhow.
Well, yes, please continue. I assure you, Dalar is plenty confident for all of us.
That inspires even less confidence.
We're here to inspire the ghost to appear, not me, aren't we?
We'll see. Let him tell us. We must let him tell us what we're here to do.
So Ronaldo walks around the room, lighting incense and candles. Before long, the smoke from the burning incense clouds the room. Multicolored lamps and silks are hung from the rafters, and the lights of several candles illuminates a circle of uncomfortable-looking... well, I guess you would be the uncomfortable-looking people sitting cross-legged on the floor. Ronaldo pushes back his sleeves of his robe, raises his hands, and he closes his eyes, and intones, "Lady who watches from the lake, come to us in our darkest hour. Tell us what you've seen." After a moment of silence, a thick frost forms on the inside of the room's windows, turning them opaque. The candles go out, one by one. "I sense she is here. Each of you, reach out to it."
I start putting my hands in front of me.
I kind of slap his
Wayfo
head
just Wayfo just kind of happily waves. "Hello, Lady of the Lake."
I'm going to. Can I roll Arcana to see if I can tell if this is like a spell versus an actual spirit?
Or
Sure.
a con artist.
Yeah.
Hard to say for sure, but if it would be magic, which you're not entirely sure that it is, it's very, very well done.
Okay. I'll close my eyes then and just kind of listen.
All right.
Reach out with my spirit, like you told me to.
Go ahead and give me persuasion checks. Everyone.
Hey, he hit my dice. It's not fair.
I was about to say it stopped, and I saw it get knocked over, and I was like, "Oh shit, does that count?"
No.
The remaining candles in the room flicker for a moment, before extinguishing completely, all at once.
Oh.
And then all is silent for a moment. Then you all see a ghostly figure standing in the midst of the room, faintly illuminating the room. I forgot I have show players. Show talk.
Be still.
Ah! It's a ghost.
That's Ronaldo.
Oh.
After a moment, Ronaldo looking over what's happened says, I think we did it. If you
I
have,
think that chick is like getting ready to like make the moves on him.
Yeah, I was say, why is Torrid trying to kiss him?
um,
What have we done? Is she supposed to stay here, or is she supposed to leave?
And
we can.
Waifo, completely oblivious as usual, just waves at the spirit. Hello, Lady of the Lake.
She just kind of raises her hand to Waifo and kind of like as if to wave, but doesn't move it beyond raising it. Ronaldo whispers to the group of you, "Alright, if you've got the questions, now's the time to ask."
Lady, are the tales true of your passing?
The tales are true. I have passed.
Oh,
I see. I see. And you passed out in the lake, yes?
Let's see. See how helpful she's actually going to be with these. Let's see. I have passed by the lake recently.
Who is it that killed you?
Somewhere I might have that answer.
You know whose kid
Okay.
that is. Can you get him to shut up?
Do you know the capital of Syria?
what is the average airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
What do you mean, African or European?
Don't know that.
European, obviously.
Yeah. And you just incinerate instantly. You say, I don't know.
No, Waifo is basically sitting there bouncing up and down, looking like he's about to burst.
Can Warforged explode?
Suicide or function?
She does not seem to answer your question of who killed her.
Well, lady, that's quite all right. You don't have to answer every question, but I believe that there was a question that some of us were looking to have answered, which is the tales are that you left some kind of great treasure behind your passing, and supposedly there's a way that they can be reclaimed. Do you happen to be able to tell us what that is, or where the treasure is buried?
My husband carried great wealth when he died. Years after I died.
So all of your wealth resides now with your husband, does it?
He carried it to his grave.
And where's his grave?
Give me a charisma check with yours, Dalar, or persuasion check since you're drunk.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Would you like me to show you?
Sure.
Her form shifts into a floating lantern that begins to float to and through one of the exterior doors to the room.
Quickly, everybody, up, go! I'll jump up and kick the door open like we're a police squad raiding a house. And we will follow it.
Alright, it doesn't move terribly quickly, so even in the night, it's in a slightly snowy night, it's relatively easy to follow. She begins to lead you out onto the lake.
Oh boy. How stable is this ice anyway?
I'm not so sure.
Wait, I am inebriated. I must check something. Well, I can hold her just fine. Let's keep going.
Oh my god. Hold me just fine.
Ronaldo does interject, like, the fishers walk out here all the time. It's usually pretty thick out here.
All right, let's keep going.
Very well. Ronaldo, you did say that you're relatively familiar with seance. Is there anything odd about this, or is this somewhat normal?
To be honest, I've never had a seance do this. I have no idea what's going to happen here.
Ah, excellent. Excellent. My favorite. Still like to keep calling it, I guess, then.
Alright. So you guys follow it a good way out to the lake.
Oh, and Wayfo is going to burst at some point along this path. And this is all pretty much going to come out as like one of his breaths.
What you hear back is basically the response is, there will be a time for more questions. But for now, I must show. And she leads you guys about a mile from the shore onto this frozen lake. At this point, she resumes her human-like form and turns to Dalar. We are nearby.
Is this where the wealth is?
Would you like to see it?
Is it down below the ice?
She gonna answer, Wayfo? Just keep staring at me.
She's just staring at you, Dalar. It seems focused on answering your still ongoing answer to the question.
I'm gonna turn to my Schwinga. What do you think?
It just kind of shrugs.
Let's do it. Sure.
Oh god.
Make a dexterity saving throw. With disadvantage because you're drunk. I should probably added that.
Oh, you asshole.
This is just for storytelling.
I'm good at drunk food. Gosh dang it.
So,
How can I not be?
as Dalar, as soon as you say that you would like to see it, the ice below you instantly shatters and opens up into the cold water below.
Glub glub.
You fall into it. After which, she, with a wave of her hand, reseals the ice above you. You shall see it soon enough.
Oh, wait, madam, please.
I have a
lady.
question. Does my thermal cube keep its heat underwater? If so, I'm gonna pull it out and start shoving it into the ice.
And Weifo is going to pull a scene from iRobot. You appear to be having an emergency. Please do not resist this rescue.
How thick is the ice? We've been able to tell.
From the couple of chunks that landed up on the surface, it's probably about a foot thick.
Well, I'm gonna kind of like turn and plead with the white lady. Madam, please, let him out. He's only seeking some more coin to buy a bit more drink. That's the only thing we came out here for. The rest of us, we wanted to see what we could help you with. We wanted to see if there was some way we could put you at peace, so you don't have to roam the halls anymore.
And yeah, Weifo is still going to be using his unarmed combat skill to shatter the ice. And without even missing a beat, he's going to be like, I had lots of questions, but you said that you wouldn't answer them until later.
She does not... Let's see. Yes, Dalar, just to answer your other question, your thermal cube, while still outputting some heat relative to the water, is struggling to keep up in temperature. While it might melt through the ice eventually, let's see, what's your constitution? Yeah, constitution modifier.
+1.
+1. Alright, you've got 2 minutes total of air.
Alright, let's see. How fast does the water and shape water move?
Let's see.
Also, can shape water just unfreeze ice? Doesn't it just need? It needs to be water, doesn't it?
The
Getting into that
questions.
metaphysics.
It specifically says you can freeze water. It doesn't say that you can unfreeze it.
But I can control a 5-foot cube, correct?
Yeah.
How fast does the water move? Like, are we talking fast enough that I could like make a 5-foot cube and freeze a box around me of ice with the water pushed out, or at least out enough that I could like breathe?
Well, you could. You can basically change the flow of water as you direct up to 5 feet in any direction. Doesn't have enough force to cause damage.
Like I could cause water to take a shape, but could I basically make a box of air by keeping the water pushed out around it?
I don't know that. I think you would have trouble keeping it pushed out alone, but I think I would let you do with it is you could freeze the water, at the edge of that range, then basically cast it a second time and push it through a small hole in the first layer that you
Okay.
left, and then
Yeah,
let
my other thought was basically making a helmet of ice. That was another thought I had. That basically sounds like that's what you're saying, is making a block of ice and putting my head in it.
It doesn't fix your suffocation problem, at least not until a hole is open to the surface, but it gets you out of the water at least. And if you get at least a hole opened up to the surface, you get air.
Which Wayfo is working on diligently.
Right.
That's about all I can do right now, though. I don't think I'm gonna be able to punch hard enough underwater. With
I don't remember.
My 10 strength and 14 dex. I'm probably not gonna be able to punch it too hard.
No, especially because to fit in the size box you're creating, you'd be crouched in this box.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to punch it.
Well, spear is obviously not doing as well as my fists.
No, it actually does super well. The spear does so well, in fact, you poke through the ice and accidentally poke Dalar in the process.
Oh!
God. Did I take 2 damage?
Yeah, as the air rushes in Dalar, you take 2 points of damage.
Oh, well, in that case, actually, that's really beneficial.
I don't know why I pinged thermal cube again.
Does the white lady seem to respond at all to you trying to convince it to release the prisoner?
No, she doesn't exactly. She's just kind of standing there. About a minute later, you guys finally get a hole opened up large enough for Dalar to squeeze out.
Oh, I was just about to use burning hands to try and melt the ice, but all right, we got it.
We'll say you did that as well while Wayfo was working with his spear. You guys tag teamed it.
There we go.
Wayfo was chiseling some ice, motherfucker.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Sorry about your arm.
Oh, it's better than drowning.
I suppose so, although she appeared to wish you to experience the same thing that she has.
Well, I guess we know that she drowned.
So I have an important question here.
Yes.
Is there any damage that would be done to me being in literally cold water?
I think I looked this up, but I believe so. You're not.
I don't breathe, so I won't suffocate. And the cold weather doesn't necessarily affect a weapon forged. So, I mean, unless it was like magical cold or something.
No, you're not immune to cold completely, like cold damage and stuff.
Okay.
And especially being as cold as this water is, it would cause you problems jumping in there.
Oh, okay.
The air, not being able to breathe wouldn't be a problem, but the cold would still affect you.
Would his body eventually just freeze up under there? It gets so cold it stops responding?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a bummer. Because I was going to be like, well, I could just go find out what's down there. Not like I can drown.
I'll turn around and say to Ronaldo, Ronaldo, do you know what the spirit's name is? Is there some way that we can refer to it to get it to understand us better and answer our questions?
No. Everyone just refers to her as the White Lady.
Very well, lady. Will you tell us your name? What was the name that you had before you passed? We would implore you to share this information with us.
Oh, I've got a sick idea.
You're gonna kill her.
She tells you that her name is Zinraya. Or Zinira. Yeah, Zinira. I have but one more question that I can answer before I must leave again. But it is your choice to what question that is.
What should we ask her?
Way, I think that Way should be the one to ask the question. I've been doing most of the talking this evening, and Dalar himself has been, well, I guess rather pointed with his questions. So maybe we should let Way think of what he must know and ask.
Um, Wayfo appears to be very busy whispering back and forth with Dalar and kind of just half distractedly says, "Yes, Lady of the Lake. Will you assist us with the problems with the weather that we've been having?"
Asking the big questions now.
It is not of my concern. And she disappears, leaving you all in the dark on the lake.
Well, I know. I'll pull out my lantern.
Ronaldo, I must say this has been peculiar, to say the least.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I've never quite had a seance quite like this.
I see.
If you want to try again, we can always try again another night. Might need a couple of coins to rebuy supplies.
I
Okay,
understand.
so Wayfo is going to grab the cube of warmth from
Thermal
Dalar,
cube.
and holding it to his chest with one hand, he's going to take his other, grab a hold of the edge of the ice, and drop his body into the water. And just kind of float there. Like, okay, am I taking damage? Or is this keeping me sufficiently warm that all my joints are still working?
That would, within ice cold water, it would slow the rate you would take cold damage, but it wouldn't stop it completely. Need something a little bit higher output for that.
Okay. Well, Wayfo will hop back out then. I need something stronger than this. Can either of you produce something like that?
You'd probably need something from somebody with magic.
Well, we know a guy in town now, don't we? A fellow across the East Road. Perhaps he could be of some assistance, whether his dealings are, well-natured or not.
Well, we need to make sure that we do not misplace this location.
True. Perhaps if we leave some kind of marker jammed into part of the ice as it freezes and, refreezes over the hole, it's sticking far enough out from the ice, we should still be able to find it, yes?
Makes sense to me.
Then, if you would be willing to ask, I will stand here and hold my spear in the water until it refreezes.
Well, I'm not quite sure that's the best use of your time, is it?
You could probably just stab it into there and leave it.
I suppose. It would be easier, however, if I had a target underneath of the water. Just kidding.
Well, if I gotta get back down there, I guess I gotta back down there.
Alright. Wayfo, you stick the spear in the ice.
And I will make sure it is wedged in there.
Mm-hmm.
Deep.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Okay. Let's trek on back.
Let's get back
Yes,
and
we
warm
should.
up.
Could indeed get out of this dreadful place.
Yes, my thoughts exactly.
I think that we should indeed inquire about when we return to town is her name, Zanira. We must see if we can find where exactly and confirm where exactly her husband's body lays. I do remember someone mentioning something about an aquatic death of some kind. However, I simply must ask, simply because maybe he's not actually in the water and this is some kind of cruel trick. He's sitting in a cemetery somewhere nearby.
It's always entirely possible. That's something we can look into tomorrow, though. How about we go back
Yes,
and warm up for
indeed.
the night and sleep?
Must find some warm green tea to begin the turning in process, I'd say.
I suppose.
Alright.
And Wayfo is this a new town, or is this the town that we were in before with the innkeeper that Wayfo knows?
This is a new town.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Bryn Shander. You guys are in East Haven right now.
Well, Wayfo is going to, attempt to help out in whatever way he can.
Unfortunately, in this stupid town, the inn and the tavern are on the other opposite sides of town. I don't know who thought that was a good idea.
Wayfo will help out around the inn then.
Yeah, it's like the inn's on like the west side, and then the Wet Trout is the tavern all the way on the northeast side.
Makes sense.
It's so far away.
Well, but then that way you also don't have traveling individuals like getting drunk and causing trouble about town.
That's
But
the
then they're
whole
just gonna get
point of
lost and
having a
drunk.
town. Yeah.
That
That's
stopped me from
not,
trying to leave. I'm still gonna get drunk and lost.
but that's not necessarily causing a problem for the town.
Could be.
But
Could make it a problem for the town.
Waytho is going to come in and greet the innkeeper and just say, "I have a question." You know, probably one of like 100,000 that Wayfo's asked the innkeeper so far.
Mm-hmm. What's your question?
If one were able to breathe underwater in the icy cold depths of the lake, how would one stop from freezing to death?
Oh, needs some way to stay warm, obviously.
Indeed.
That depends, I guess, on, how long and for how deep.
To the bottom, and I don't know how deep it is.
It's about a mile offshore.
Oh, so you could easily be going, maybe 100 feet down.
Okay.
If it was just going to be something quick and shallow, I would suggest, maybe a dry suit might work well for that, but I think you need something that actively produces heat and
That would be preferable.
maybe insulates you as well to slow the loss.
Like fat.
Fat would be a good way to do it.
But is there any way to keep the fat on you without rinsing away in the water?
You need to contain it in something around you.
Ooh. Suppose we made a suit and then stuffed the suit full of fat. After the person was in it, of course.
Of course. I think you might be on a track there. Don't know how it'll work, if it'll work. But it might be your best bet.
And I could drink the dwarven dead. That always brightens up my furnace.
He has a slightly concerned look on his face.
The ghosts of dwarves. They sell them at the tavern.
What kind of tavern you been going to?
The one across
that
town.
sells the dead dwarves. What else?
Dwarven specters?
I believe spirits is the word you're looking for.
Yes. Those.
Oh, you mean booze.
Yes.
Oh, no. I usually cheer. As does Dalar.
Well, that is also true.
Although he does cheer rather loudly.
I'm sure he does.
The only time that he ever boos is when somebody tells him that that's all. He's not allowed to have any more.
He knows me so well.
I take it that happens quite a bit.
Almost every night.
Yeah.
You have given me much to think about. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, is there anything that you need assistance with this evening before I retire?
No, not exactly. Just going about preparing some food for breakfast. It's almost that time.
Would you like my assistance?
You can cook?
I don't know. I've never tried. And he says that as enthusiastically and as excited as any Warforged possibly could.
Oh my god, he's so excited.
I suppose we can try and help out.
Happily.
So he leads you back into a small kitchen. Shows you how to do a couple of things. I'm not sure what else it would go under. We'll say just give me a straight intelligence check. After several times where he's had to come over, like, no, not like that. You've got to do it like this, and eventually, just like, you know what? Just let me take care of this. We're just not getting very much done here. Perhaps come back, try again when you've gotten some more experience with it.
Of course. I can at least keep an eye out on the front room.
Sure, to sit whatever you want.
And Waifo will plop down somewhere near the fireplace and keep an eye out on the area while he's meditating.
All right. So it's not long before the sun comes up, or I guess being that you can't never really see the sun due to the, constant cloud cover, the outside lightens enough that you can see a little bit.
Here comes the gray. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
It's all right. If only it were all right here in 10 Towns.
Yeah.
That's what our heroes
Well-
are for.
Well, you see, you got to say the it's all right. Like the old Jewish grandpa. Yeah, it's all right.
There you go.
It's better than nothing.
It's totally normal if I die at least once a week.
Yeah. Really. So wait, did any of us go to bed, or did we just stay up in the tavern? Or you just
I went to bed.
I went to bed by meditating.
Yeah, I presume that we just went,
Yeah.
dried myself out the best I could, and went to sleep.
And I'll be right back. I gotta go grab some water.
All right.
Yeah, we gotta get to the restroom real quick as well. Actually,
Yeah, I'll be right back in 2 minutes.
All right. We'll take 5 and be right back.
As a quick aside, in the morning, whenever my character wakes up, I would go ask around the inn if anybody knows the name Zanira, and if they can confirm that her husband did die out over the water somewhere, or if he ended up in a grave or something like that.
All right. I shall prepare an answer for when we return from our break.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys go about your rest. From the timing of everything, it's midday again by the time you're rested up and back at it. Biltram, to answer your question you asked earlier, no one at the inn is familiar with it, but they do point you over to town hall, as there are some records of townsfolk that are kept over there. They might have something of that sort buried away.
All right. I will relay this information to good old Baylor and Way, and then I think I'll probably just do it in character. Hey guys, so it seems that there's records regarding the people who were the spirit that we were dealing with last night. Her family and such. I was thinking that I would go down to town hall to see if I can't recover some of these records and determine whether or not the body of Zanira's husband truly does lay at the bottom of the lake or not.
I don't see why not.
That sounds like an intelligent, logical thing to do.
Excellent.
I was thinking about going over and speaking to the magic man.
Very good. Well, I suppose we can split up and accomplish these tasks if you would like to do so, but I am okay with whatever you please.
I do not feel that the records nor the magic man are going to cause us any harm.
Indeed, I felt the same. Very well. I shall meet you back here at the inn whenever the task is done.
Very well.
I'm gonna go to the trees where we found the swing goods and see if any more show up during the day.
Alright. So you guys all go your separate ways.
Ooh, we can go your own way.
Don't lose your way.
I'm gonna pull each of you into the private room one at a time to play out your separate
Oh no!
happenings. Who wants to go first?
I think mine will probably be the speedier, more expedient one, so I can go first if you want to get me out.
Yep, sounds good to me. Alright. So you head over to the town hall. Town speaker's there. You ask him about the records. He points you to it's really mostly a closet that some records are kept in. It's a large closet, but it's a closet. Much smaller than records that you might be used to seeing. Anyway, he says you're free to look around there. It's all public record stuff. He doesn't. The name doesn't ring a bell, but he says he's not dug through there in quite a while.
Very good. Well, yeah, I'll go jump in there and just kind of look for that name, Zanira, and see if I can't, figure out her familial contacts and maybe have like estates of ownership and things like that, and see if I can't isolate, any record of what would happen to her and her husband.
Mm-hmm.
I will roll whatever you want, and you don't have to tell me what the result is now if you don't want to. I was just about to say that since I can kind of run this searching in the background a little bit, I might dip out here a little bit. I'm pretty damn tired actually.
Yeah, no worries.
You tell me what you want to check, and we'll do it.
Yeah, give me an investigation check to route through all of the material there. And Yeah, you find that despite being sorted rather haphazardly, you're able to get to the information you want actually pretty easily. And being that you found information you want, you did find something that seems like it could be useful there. The town records do have, I just forgot her name.
Myra?
Yeah. They do have it listed there. She lived in town a couple hundred years ago at this point, with her husband. She died of illness, and then her husband disappeared a couple years later. No one knows how or where. Their wealth seems to have disappeared with them, and their house was eventually sold off to someone else.
Gotcha. Well, then I guess that makes the ghost's revealed location the only lead then. Well, with that bit of information collected, I will, as the time has gone on, I will go back to the inn and await the others to return. And of course, whenever they do, I will tell them of my revelations and go from there. But I'll probably go and drop off here for the night if that's cool with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that'll work out just fine.
Alrighty. I'll jump over to the chat. I'll send Brandon over if that's cool with you.
Yep, that'll work.
Okay.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Oh god. Me and my fucking party under a tree. The swing has appeared. I'm half expecting just to go there, fucking just sit there all day, and then just go back. I don't know if Schwingers are gonna come out all daytime. I was just like, I don't need to go with anybody else. I'll just go here. See if anything happens.
So, as you return to the site, the Schwinga does recognize you return to where you found him, and he, runs around and plays with the silverware and stuff that was left behind there.
Oh, man.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, I double-clicked something by accident. Oh, that is a performance check. This is a perception check. Can we do the performance check? Oh, no.
Either way, the results end up being the same in this circumstance. You don't notice any Chwinga out and about besides the one that you came here with.
Damn. Oh, well.
Yeah, but the one you have out there plays for a bit, then he just kind of sits down and relaxes with you.
I'll give him a good old good berry. I'll cast that, because why not? I mean, he probably only eats like half of it, but
He happily eats his little portion of it, and
his like quarter portion or something like that. His eighth, and I guess I like the other part. I've been wondering if they're actually gonna do anything evil to Schwing when we take it back. There's gonna be hell to raise. There's gonna be fucking fighting between me and that researcher. I'm letting you know now. That bitch is gonna fucking try and cut him open. I'm gonna fucking throw hands.
let me
Just letting you know now. Just fucking
write that down right quick, and we'll make sure to roll the dice on that one when you see her.
I'll fucking try again with my scimitar. It didn't work the first time. I'll pull it out a second time if I have to. I've got a negative win rate in my fights, but I'll try again still.
Gonna end up being that she didn't actually want it for research, she just wanted it as a snack.
Oh my god. she's just some creature that wanted to eat it and was disguised as the person the whole time. Oh no.
But yeah, you wait out there all afternoon, and it's just the two of you.
Okay.
And you,
Also, are we just calling it after these little sessions? Because it looks like Jacob had to go.
probably we'll see how the one Scott's maybe the most interesting and is most likely to actually lead to something else. But I'm not sure which direction that might be yet. So we'll see where that leads us. But yeah, we're likely to not be too long before we end for the night.
Okay. Yeah, well, does anything else happen?
No.
Or just traverse back to the wet trout?
Yeah, you guys just head back to the tavern, and
Okay.
you find Biltram waiting for you when you get there.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
All right.
Want me to send Scott down?
I'll drag him over.
Okay.
There you are.
Howdy, howdy.
All right. So, 2 interactions resolved. 1 remaining.
Wayfo is going to go straight over to the fish market and look around for the magic man.
All right. Give me a perception check. After looking long, hard all throughout, and even asking around a little bit, you don't see him. One person
Then
does
I'm
mention. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say one person did mention he was here earlier in the day, but it left some time ago.
Okay. Then Wayfo's going to head straight to his house.
All right. You make your way rapidly across town, arriving at his house in no time.
And cheerfully knock on the door.
A couple minutes later, he comes to the door and opens up the peephole. Yes?
Hello. It is I, Wayfo.
Hello. Did I not tell you to make an appointment at the fish market?
Absolutely, you did. And I went there and I spoke to several people. And they said that you had left just a little while ago. So I just wished to come over and convey to you that I will be stopping by in a little while to have a visit, if that's okay.
Just give me a moment. Let me clean up some things, and we can
Of course.
have a quick visit.
Whenever you're ready. And
Uh,
Wayfo will literally just walk like 10 paces back and then just stand there staring at the house.
He closes the shutter on his peephole, and you hear some quick rummaging about inside, shuffling around, things getting opened and closed rather hastily. And about 10 minutes later, he comes back and opens the door. Well then,
And Wayfo won't have moved at all.
maybe it'd be best if we just do this outside. And he steps outside to join you.
Okay. I don't mind at all. Although many people seem to have an issue with the cold.
Lots of people around here don't like it. Well, they learn to live with it.
Actually, that's what I came here to discuss with you. The cold.
Okay, what about the cold?
The weather doesn't seem to trouble me whatsoever. However, something like the chilling depths of the water in the lake, it can seep into the joints and, well, causes things to tend to freeze up. I'm wondering if there is some magical way to be able to provide heat for me to be able to go inside the lake.
Hmm. He strokes his beard and thinks for a moment. Your friend had that thermal cube on him, did he not? Was that insufficient for your needs?
It is. It basically was constantly trying and struggling desperately to keep the warmth, but it would only slow down the progression of cold, not stop it.
Uh, Two ideas come to mind, both perhaps with their own pros and cons. Um, the old-fashioned way would be find a way to insulate yourself, or perhaps build a diving capsule or something. I don't know, but some sort of way to insulate yourself from the cold, so that way his cube is sufficient to keep up with the rate at which you lose heat.
Do you
Or
think that a suit stuffed with fats would do it?
it works well enough for the whales. I don't see why it wouldn't work for you.
Hmm.
Yes,
And
so
what would be
just
the other thought?
the other thought would be find someone who can crank up the output on that cube.
Ooh,
So at
who
that
would
point,
do
it
that?
might be dangerous to have it above water, but that I might know a guy in town who can do such a thing for a price.
Interesting. I would love to have an introduction if possible.
Sure. Um, I'll have to check with him, make sure he's okay with it. He tends to keep to himself more than I am able to.
I fully understand. If he is willing to discuss it, perhaps you could leave his name with one of the fishmongers at the fish market. That way I will not disturb you again.
Um, no, he's not the kind of person who would be okay with that. He would rather these meetings be arranged directly through me.
Very well.
But I'll ask with him. I typically charge some money for it, but maybe favors as well. We'll see.
Much appreciate it. And perhaps by tomorrow, this will not even be necessary.
I hope so. You guys keep coming around here asking all this stuff. Perhaps I should start charging you for the hour.
I fully understand. And I do thank you very much for your time. And with that, he'll hand him a gold piece.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciated.
Of course. Time is valuable.
Indeed. Oh, so valuable. No, you'll excuse me. I've got some very important, rather time-sensitive things to get back to. I
Of
think
course.
you've got some good grounding to get started with, and I'll see what I can find out from my end. And find me in the fish market, please, next time beforehand, and
Fair
we'll go
enough.
from there.
Thank you and have a wonderful day.
You too.
And Wayfo will wander off.
All right. You eventually wander your way back over to the tavern, and we'll rejoin with Dalar there.
All right.
All right, back in the tavern.
I believe that it's going to be possible for me to be able to do this venture with just your cube. But we'll need to test it.
Are you still thinking of going to the bottom of that lake?
Of course.
Were you able to find a way to stay warm?
I believe so.
Well,
What I'll need is a fairly large, oversized suit. Probably made out of hides. One that would cover my whole body, but still allow me to be able to see out. And then from there, I will need to pack the suit full of animal fats. And then stuff the cube in there with me.
I mean, as long as you try it out in a controlled environment, that should be all right.
Those were my thoughts exactly.
Well then, let's say you go to the market and start picking up some of those.
Very well.
You don't need quite a lot of hides.
Or someone who already has them and can assemble such a suit.
And that too.
As you're discussing that, someone at the table nearby leans over, is like, sounds like something the old armor shop might be up for. Guy in town specializes in metal armors, but I hear he does some work with leathers too. Might be what you're looking for.
Do you think he would be good at doing hide?
Hide armor is pretty common up here. And,
Oh,
well,
yes.
there's a
I
few
would
things we
imagine
have
so.
in ready supply.
And Waypo will take a look over at Dalar. That sounds like the logical place for us to start.
Makes sense to me.
So we'll head on over there to talk to this armorer.
All right. And we will actually pick up with that next week.
Sounds fair and reasonable to me.
Sounds good to me. Since we'll also have Tora back next week too. We should.
Yes.
Oh, and have we gained any experience at all yet?
We're doing a milestone leveling, and nope, you guys have not hit the milestone to
We
go
are-
level 2 yet.
We are still killer level 1. All right. We're gonna finish this entire adventure and still be level 1.
It turns
Be
out either we're incredibly good or we fucking suck at adventures in this campaign. I'm not sure what it is yet.
Yes.
Considering I've nearly died 3 times now, I think I'm
Yes.
doing something right.
Oh, and you were talking about how you kind of blew out your triceps because they weren't that strong.